Good morning to my fellow examiners and supervisor. Today I'm here to present my research reports for my PhD's YY in education. My name is Mr. Wong Su Chong from UOW's KDU, and my research topics is development and evaluation of the integrated creative activity instructions (ACHI) for thinking skills for graphic design course. As an introduction, I would like to start with a new learning trend in 21st century. According to Trisana Palmer's and American instructors, to suggest that education today is no longer measured on how much knowledge here you have learned. It's all about how did you learn according to your career destinations. The teaching instructions today is all about setting an interesting student-centered class instructions to help students to learn happily and effectively with thinking skills. Graphic design courses are among those tradition programs that still practicing traditional model in Malaysia. Thinking skill infusions instruction is one of the possible solutions for 21st century of graphic design learning, whereas critical thinking, communications, collaborations, and creativity are among the key elements in helping students to enhance knowing how to learn in graphic design. After the stage 1 need analysis from these research studies, the researchers summarize the problem statement as below. First, thinking skill is offering as a separate subject and often taught by instructors without any design background. Second, graphic design learners are still learning by doing, and thinking skills processes are not emphasized in most institutions. Lastly, according to Gurharan's 2017 reports, current Malaysian education systems, most of the focuses are on high achievers. In graphic design, average and slow learners are always have been neglected, especially at tertiary levels. According to Cato's 2010s, 21st century will be ultimately learner-driven. Key learning competencies for graphic designs are how well to solve real-world problems with complex communications and thinking skills. The educators today should prepare the students for workforce readiness with technological availability. According to Wang 2006, he has declared that graphic design today has been transforming from traditional skill-based into a competency-based profession. It's very different from the graphic designs in 20 years ago. The emergence of technology change have set a new requirement in the workforce, and graphic design professions has not exceptional from this change. Thinking ability to solve real-world problems are highly appreciated to secure a higher chance in employment opportunities. Vigorous in 2006 explains thinking skills are crucial in solving real-world problems, in which it helps graphic design students to connect with all the meaningful information with creativity to create an unique workable solutions with technology. According to William and Nicholas in 2010s, a good instructional processes will help graphic design learners to learn and to think effectively. According to these research studies, there are infusions of thinking skill is one of the great solutions. The purpose of these studies is to develop and to propose an integrated instructional strategy for 21st century of graphic design learning. The objectives are to investigate current graphic design curriculums, to develop and to evaluate agile models' efficacies, inclusive of the effectiveness of agile towards graphic design learners with positive learning satisfactions. This research was designed based on PBR principles. There are three major stages. Stage 1, need analysis. A nationwide stakeholder survey has been conducted in 2015, which involved 340 respondents, inclusive of students, academic managers, graphic design tutors, and practitioners through questionnaire and interviews. Stage 2, the pilot test. Grassroots observation and research activity, which involve sample group 1, 25 participants, and sample group 2, 24 participants from University A, to develop a workable agile framework for graphic design students. The methods involve qualitative research of creative attitude means survey, which to make sure all the samples groups are equals, and qualitative triangulation. The triangulation involves classroom observations, semester ends, portfolio assessments, analysis, focus groups, interview, and creativity tests. Stage 3, agile evaluations. On sample group 3, 24 participants. The objective is to test agile's efficacy, to compare pre and post-agile treatments effectiveness on 3 ability groups: high, average, and low achiever groups from University A. Agile framework was inspired and developed based on 3 major theories. The Efferton theories of James Gibson in 1985, New Thinking Taxonomy of Robert Massano in year 2000, and 9 Events of Instructional by Gagne in 1992. Conceptual frameworks was designed to compare agile effectiveness on high, average, and achiever groups in academic performance, learner satisfactions, and creativity development based on pre and post treatment in classes. Integrated creative activity instruction agile. The key instructional strategy is based on problem-based learning, PBL. Key instruments are design workbooks, weekly guided practical modules, PBL participations, and small group discussions. Whereas key measuring tools are semester and portfolio assessments based on AACU rubrics, Torrance test of creative thinking, TTCT, and focus group interviews. Agile framework was developed based on the 3 theories mentioned earlier, and it consists of 5 different thinking stages. They are engage, explore, explain, envisage, and evaluation within 14 weeks of classes in 1 semester. Research finding 1, assumption. The current Malaysian graphic design curriculums does not meet up with latest education trends. Hypothesis accepted. Stage 1 need analysis nationwide stakeholders survey reports has confirmed that most graphic design students are still learning by skill-based instructional models, which thinking skills are not emphasized. Research finding 2, assumptions 2. New proposed Agile is effective to help Malaysians graphic design students to perform with positive learning satisfactions at tertiary levels. Hypothesis was accepted. According to these research findings, PBL encompasses critical evaluations and help to connect through analytical thinking. It helps to verify relevant facts with critical thinking evaluations. Reflections in workbook analysis witness how learners have started their learning processes and how it ended with a solution. Whereas small group interaction help learners to communicate and brainstorm within their group members. Agile instruments and measuring tools manage to provide a fair and complete instructional evaluations to help average and slow learner to improve their learning processes with better satisfactions and results. Research findings 3. Assumption 3. New proposed Agile show positive response by improving individual creativity in solving graphic design research problems, which the hypothesis was accepted. Critical and creative thinking has a significant roles to play in helping graphic design students to improve their performance in AACU rubrics, PTCTs, and PPL participation. Academic performance and creativity development are parallel in groups but not in individuals. High achiever does not guarantee with high creativity performance in Agile evaluations. Many cases, average and slow learners are recorded to score higher TTCT performance than high achiever groups. In summary, when individual performance high, creativity measure will follow the same, and learner will get higher satisfaction. It shows that the learning processes have completed with the effective way. Creativity is a skill that enables graphic design students to convert great innovative and imaginative ideas into a tangible solutions in graphic design business. Agile is proven able to help average and low achievers to learn by thinking's effectiveness in graphic design courses. Agile emphasis and design thinking processes and infusion thinking of skills. The research gaps shows learner as researchers, learning by thinking according to learner's choice. And Agile offer high ownership in learning, flexible, multiple dimensional, and reflective. And the Agile lesson content is open and up to date. And real-world challenge and thinking processes are emphasized. We're going to start with the first Agile learner as researchers. According to Better for Kids organization in 2009, the report have showed that the student today is able to develop their own driving goals in learning, just like self-driven research projects in graphic design. Second, learning by thinking based on Wang 2006 reports. Graphic design today has been transformed into a competency-based, which driven by thinking activity. The next one is high ownership in graphic design learnings will lead a positive and effectiveness learning certifications according to Long 1985, as well as Chang and Chang in 2012 investigations. Whereas Collinson's in 2014 suggested flexible, multiple dimensional and flexible learning lesson contents helps to stimulate students' learning in a differentiated classroom, which learners have the right to choose their own learning destinations. At last, Jeffrey and Hancock in 2002 explains thinking skill is a phenomenon that leads graphic design learners an opportunity to focus directly in subjects and empower to connect all relevant information before create a workable solutions. Real-world challenge abilities and thinking processes are crucial in 21st century of graphic design learning, and Agile should be one of the remarkable solutions. That is my presentations to this. Thank you very much.